Have you ever wondered why even the happiest relationships sometimes lose their spark? Why passion can fade over time, even when love is still strong? Or why a small change, a new setting, a playful twist, a shift on dynamic can suddenly reignite desire? Psychologists call this sexual novelty. And it's not just about experimenting in the bedroom, it's about how our brains are wired to respond to newness, play, and curiosity. Novelty wakes up the reward system, sparking the same kind of energy we feel at the start of a relationship. Even if you're single, this video can help you understand how desire works in the human brain. And when we understand what fuels passion, we can approach intimacy with others or ourselves with more openness, compassion, and imagination. So let's dive into the psychology of sexual novelty and what it reveals about keeping desire alive. Dopamine and the thrill of the new. Your brain is wired for both comfort and excitement. It loves patterns, routines that make life feel safe, but it also craves surprise. That's where novelty comes in. Researchers have shown that new experiences light up the brain's reward system, releasing a rush of dopamine. Early in relationships, everything feels novel. Your partner's voice, their touch, even their quirks, and dopamine floods the system, creating that intoxicating honeymoon phase. Over time though, the brain adapts, and what once felt electrifying becomes familiar. That's just simple biology. The good news, even small shifts, a new restaurant, a different route home, a playful twist in routine can wake up that same circuitry, reigniting connection and making partners feel more alive and engaged. The Coolidge effect explained. Some people worry that craving sexual novelty means they're disloyal or ungrateful. But sexual novelty isn't about rejecting what you have, it's about keeping curiosity alive. Think of it like this. You might have a favorite meal, but if you ate it every single day, eventually you'd crave variety. Not because the meal lost its value, but because your senses are wired for newness. Sexuality works the same way. Biologists even have a name for it, the Coolidge effect. Researchers found that sexual interests tend to decline with the same partner, but renews when a new one is introduced. That can sound discouraging, but it doesn't mean long-term desire is doomed. Familiarity also creates safety, trust, and intimacy, things novelty alone cannot replace. The point isn't to excuse infidelity, but to understand how the brain works. When couples intentionally add variety, whether by trying new activities, exploring fantasies, or simply surprising each other, they often reignite their spark without anyone new involved. Research backs this up. A study found that couples who embrace novelty together, inside or outside the bedroom, report stronger satisfaction. The secret isn't endless stimulation, it's keeping love dynamic, alive, and evolving. Midpoint check-in. You didn't think we were done yet, did you? Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Now let's get back to it. The best insights are still ahead. Healthy ways to explore sexual novelty. Of course, novelty has a shadow side. Comfort brings safety, but too much routine can dull desire. Novelty excites, but chasing it endlessly can create instability. The healthiest relationships don't choose one over the other, but balance both. Craving newness isn't about rejecting love. It's about sustaining it and rediscovering what first drew you towards each other. Sexual novelty doesn't always mean elaborate role play or adventurous kinks, though for some it can. More often, it begins with small shifts that break the routine and spark new energy. Setting, change the environment, like moving intimacy outside the bedroom. It can jolt the senses awake. Pace, slowing things down to savor or speeding things up for urgency creates contrast. Dynamic, experimenting with who initiates or introducing elements of power play can shift familiar patterns. Communication, even sharing fantasies aloud can spark intimacy, whether or not you act on them. Why novelty feels vulnerable. Trying something new in bed isn't just about technique, it's about vulnerability. Suggesting change risks rejection. What if they think I'm weird? What if they don't want this? That's why communication is key. Approaching novelty as shared exploration, not performance, makes all the difference. Instead of saying, I need this to stay interesting, it's more connecting to say, I'd love to explore this with you. I think it could be fun for us. Framing novelty as curiosity, not criticism, transforms it from threat into invitation. Novelty and long-term love. One of the most powerful things about novelty is how it can refresh long-term love. When couples stop exploring, the relationship risks slipping into autopilot. But when they reintroduce play, the bond deepens, not just sexually, but emotionally. Think about it. Trying something new together requires trust. It asks you both to step into uncertainty, to risk awkwardness, to laugh, to learn. That shared vulnerability can reignite intimacy far beyond the bedroom. Novelty reminds you that your partner is not fully known, that there are always new layers to discover. And that realization can be deeply erotic. The psychology of sexual novelty is really the psychology of staying awake in love. It's about balancing safety with adventure, grounding with growth. So if you've ever wondered why routine dims desire, know this: it's not weakness, it's wiring. Your brain craves novelty as much as it craves security. And when this desire is embraced with empathy, communication, and play, it stops being a threat to long-term love and becomes one of its greatest strengths. So what about you? How do you balance comfort with curiosity? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations that matter. Thanks for watching.